Hi, hello, welcome to the Daily Tarot Buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the transiting moon into Taurus. That is a sixth house event, fifth house event, excuse me, a fifth house event during the Capricorn season. That's going to go from the 7th through the 10th of December, give or take about half a day, depending on where you are in the world. And let's go ahead and get in here. The fifth house is where we go to play. It's the love we give ourselves and others. It also talks about, the things that we're putting our generative energy into. So our drive, desires, passions, motivations, not in the sense of our life path, spirit, karma, destiny, but in the sense of our heart's ambitions, soul's desires. It's the speculative energy. So like I said, where we go to play. The love we give ourselves and others. It can be where we start, that love energy. Maybe we get a boo, we get a bae, not quite lovey-dovey, one-on-one intimate union, but it's more like the beginning, the starts of things. It's kind of like the je ne sais quoi, that dance of life kind of energy. And it does also talk about the places where we begin to build our own character. It also talks about the karma that we come into this lifetime with, typically dharma, good karma. Also, to be honest, it's where we first leave the house. So it can talk about bachelor's degree, it can talk about startup businesses. An established business would be the sixth house, also where kind of, the work environment is. But if we're just getting that job, interviewing for that job, or we're just starting that business, putting in that seed investment where there's time, energy, money, wherever we invest our time, energy, and effort for profit, does that make sense? So that's the fifth house. We have so far the Eight of Swords, or the Disparde. This is on the grounds of some kind of aligning, coming into alignment. Also, our destiny was blocked or hindered or second guessed for some kind of time. It was about, I'm hearing the word restructuring, but we were second guessing because we needed to hold our ground, find our spot, defend something. And it was delayed because there was this other energy of La Superbia peacocking, some energy that wanted to be bigger, brighter, and better than us. That means there was opposition in the form of an adversary versus an opponent. They weren't necessarily trying to take us out of the game. They didn't want us to win, is all. It could have been somebody with an Aries moon, to a lesser degree, a Capricorn rising. So it can just be the spirit of the time. It's for 30 days, we're in the Capricorn cycle. So that kind of energy is a little bit adversarial. It wants to retain power. It wants to suppress, depress, oppress, repress, so that we are not bigger, brighter, and better than them. They need to kind of gain it, or they, whoever, whatever, so on and so forth. It needs this kind of energy of like, a bow down, a defeat, knockout, a total kill. That's what I'm getting. So there was this something, some energy is being wrangled down and restrained because it was trying to, you know, be better, bigger, brighter. It wanted some appreciation, acknowledgement, affection, adoration. And it's an energy that we're going up against. So that means as we go out to play, as we come out to play, as we go on the path to fulfilling our heart's desires, soul's ambitions, we're going to come across maybe opposition, maybe some kind of adversarial energy, which is just like hatred, petty yeti, kind of, bottom of the barrel kind of energy, basic, criminale, diavolo kind of energy. And something is guilty or it's been restrained or wrangled down, or because we're coming up against rule regulation restriction, and it's a function. So according to our standards and boundaries, something doesn't work. And so that's another reason why up until recently there has been some kind of, I don't know how to say this, there has been some kind of like, we were repelled, the energy wasn't congealing, it wasn't working, there was a little bit of a conflict. Page of Infante Denare, Page of Pentacles, Empress, Six of Cups. So we are moving into calmer waters. We are moving into harmony. We are moving into sanctuary, which is refuge and safe space. We're also chosen. So the spot is finally ready. The spot has been prepared. we've qualified. And with the Page of Pentacles here, we are either number one, receiving some type of material blessing, or number two, we are prepared to go on the journey to receiving some kind of practical knowledge. And then we have a practical mastery here in the past. So right now, our future is meeting our past, or put it this way, something that's already been accomplished in the esoteric and the higher realm is coming or anchoring into the lower realm, because the Empress can also be the material side of spiritual affairs. And honestly, we're going on the journey to kind of build or refine our beauty, our character, our craft, cultivate our innate style. And it requires some kind of discernment with the Queen of Swords here. It can be that we're needing to attack or to oppose according to boundaries and standards. We can also be needing some kind of rule, regulation, restriction. We can be needing to arraign, execute some type of discernment with this Queen of Swords, Eight of Swords, Queen needing, Eight of Swords specifically. We're needing rule, regulation, restriction. We're needing to restrain, to wrangle something down, bring something under order, to heal, because there's this action or energy or movement of drive, desires, passions, motivations, or said differently, we're needing triumph and victory. With the double six, we need to protect, we need to hold the ground, we need to oppose something trying to take us up out of our spot in some kind of way. And it's as if we're going on the path to attain or to receive that spot. The Queen is need. The Knight here is desire. So we're desiring victory with the Knight of Wands, Six of Wands. We're desiring triumph, victory. Also, there's some sacred spot. The sixes are different than the fours. The fourth is the spot. The six is the spot was given. It was awarded. It was divinely blessed. So we have a pair of sixes here, double six. Let's see what that's about. Yeah, so we're preparing to have some kind of movement. It can be initiation. It's definitely a triumph, overcoming something. We had probably a few setbacks or letdowns or holdups or delays in the past, and now we're overcoming or we're preparing to overcome. Let's clarify here. Yeah. So we're attending the throne of the divine here, and we have a double Venus here, a Five of Swords and Two of Cups. That tells, because that's double Venus. So it tells me that there was some love hate, there was some kind of blockage, there was some kind of open enemy or enmity where there was boundary standards. And according to another person or according to us, and something had to be clarified, purified, or tested, verified even. And it did happen. So we needed or desired to block, to execute some type of boundary. We needed to hold the ground, hold the space. And once that happened, the natural flow could have taken place. We can only be around energies, entities, ideologies. I'm going to say this, people that are on the same page. We have to be in around space of like minds and around environments, around locations, people, places, and things of a like mind on the same page to do the Copa, Two of Cups on the same page. We can't do no Two of Swords, opposing mind. Do this part the oppositional hoe trying to close down the road, trying to block the path, whatever, what have you. That we cannot do. We must do the copa, the paisano, we need friends, we need like-minded, we need birds of a feather, we need. I'm hearing partridge in a pear tree. Christmas is over. So that's confusing to me, but we need to be chickadee. We need to be together, co-creating, collaborating. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So let's carry on here. So there is the promise of a new beginning here. It comes with material abundance and or some kind of growth opportunity. And again, it's already been given to us, but it's yet to enter into the physical, but we are receiving it. There's this natural receiving whenever the Page of Pentacles is there. We've already received it if the King of Pentacles is there. It's one of those two energies. Now, we may have uh, Pisces rising with the Page of Pentacles, the Hermit card. Also, to a lesser degree, it can be Venus and Virgo, but I'm not getting that one. I'm getting with the King of Pentacles and the Hermit card, I'm getting Sun in Virgo. We have a person who is a Virgo here. To a lesser degree, it can be a Sagittarius rising. Again, confirmation, Sun in Virgo here. So with the double eight, there could be some kind of energy projection, or we're getting some kind of message with the page here of what came out of indulging or spending so much time, energy, effort, and attention in a certain place, in a certain space. So we were in an environment surrounding location for some time, executing or exercising some type of willpower, Nine of Wands, and now we've taken a turn, or we've retreated inside, or we've gone inside for soul's wisdom, Hermit card, and we've discovered maybe we're a high-ranking priest, a nun with the Hermit, especially with the Empress here. We can be like an Oshun priestess, Oshun Babalao, Hono, Mambo, whatever, what have you. Chambasi, I'm getting. Teheria. So we could have gone without for a long time, and certain bits and aspects of blessings are going to be coming in pretty soon. And we might not get the whole kit and caboodle in this life. Certain aspects of the blessing will be obscured from us until we're in the next realm, or only certain aspects of our blessing that we've already received in the higher realm are going to anchor here into the physical realm. It's the same energy, but different structure with different folks. I'm getting the widow Oshun, or the one that goes on a solitary, isolated path. They're more of like the priestess, the nun, the. Um, I'm not quite getting prima, like head of house. I'm getting the one who's like chief of staff, chief of operations kind of energy. We have Sun in Virgo very strong. I want to check onto that. Tell me about this Eight of Pentacles with the Hermit. Yeah, there was a strategy, a tactic, cunning, truth that needed to come out, emerge. It does, because unfortunately, we're not being very wound up. We're not very hot blooded. We're cold, not callous, but non reactive. Things might seem or appear to be lukewarm, tepid, placid, or it's a little bit underwhelming, uninteresting, unbothered, because maybe we're not getting everything that we want. We might have been asking for a prayer to be answered, Three of Cups, and it did come in, it did pull through, come through, but it's not standing on business. And again, I'm saying like we got everything that we wanted, but it's in the higher realm. It's confirmed here with the Hermit and the Ten of Pentacles coming on the Judice, the Justice card. It, we have to expedite certain karma here in this life. We get to retain a high rank, but for some reason, there's still karma we have to pay off or expedite or move through. We're still kind of sailing over troubled waters, and we need to kind of either stand our ground, take a stand, protect something, protect someone, or we're under protection, so all the blessings are not going to anchor through in the physical because it's not safe right now. Yeah, because we're surrounded by demons. Five of Wands with the Devil card. Literally, we're surrounded by demons. Some kind of curse needs to break, or spell needs to lift. Right, excuse me, curse needs to lift, spell needs to break. And that's the truth, because as we're accumulating, accomplishing, achieving, there is some kind of a spirit attachment with the Nine of Wands here that's trying to lord over, preside over, speak over our life, exert some type of control, execute some type of dominion, sovereignty, which is slipping. The energy, the frequency, the vibration that we need to be in, that we need to be under in order for this karma to stick is we keep accelerating out of it. And that's what this protection is about. It's about keeping us a little bit more than treading water, but we're not smooth sailing yet, even though we're safe with the Six of Cups, we're not smooth sailing yet with the Six of Swords. We will accomplish, we will achieve, we will get to this end with Mondo, the world card here. It's called the universe. But there needs to be a new chapter, a whole new world. The Mato and Mondo, the world and the fool. That's the cup full and the empty. So the thing there is that it's refillable. You can pour more water into those glasses, and again, you can whatever you want, you can create. But there's something that's sealed out. So this blessings will not come in until this cycle has completed itself. That's what I'm being told. Yeah, no, there might need to be some kind of massive action taken, or we need to win the war. I wouldn't use this language. I don't bring warfare into these readings, but sometimes it comes up and it's so we do have a Leo rising or Mars and a Leo sun or midheaven, which would make us a um, Scorpio rising. Because I'm hearing spirit lead me something over troubled waters. Okay, so we clarified all of that. Let's keep going here. So something's been going on since the last full moon. A cycle's trying to expedite itself because we are feeling strong. But some of us might be feeling entitled, or there could be an evil eye lording over, presiding over, speaking over. It might be that we're dealing with some type of Virgo moon energy, Gemini rising energy. They're projecting the evil eye on us because they're mean mugging, they're hater, they're in their jealousy, entitled energy. They're sticking to their narrative, they're sticking to their guns about something that some slight, some offense. They're mean mugging because they got their feelings hurt in some kind of way. Probably because we're not giving them the attention that they want, or we're not as accessible as they want. And with the Nine of Wands, I'm just going to say this does come up sometimes where the person's lacking accountability. They might have some kind of obsessive compulsive energy here, because it's saying that we've moved on to higher ground. We just literally withdrew our energy and moved forward, and we have the third eight out. So this is they might not be doing abracadabra, hocus pocus, but they might be marinating, oscillating, vacillating so much in hate that the energy is taking on a spiritual form. Honestly, because we're trying to go out on the path to accomplish whatever we're accomplishing. We might be on our hustle, our thuck dizzle, our grind, and we're trying to get things off the ground or start things up or keep it moving or get down into it. And we're just having to deal with energy that's not ours. And it's some kind of rukukuraka kabruharia. It's melancholia. Somebody's in their feelings and they're projecting it onto us. Now, to a lesser degree, if there is some kind of intentional whatever, because, that's a cultural thing, it could be that they're trying to get us to forget our path. They're trying to get us to walk on from something that's going to pay off very handsomely, very well in the future. So if we are working on something, if we are trying to get something off the ground, I would suggest that we just keep it moving. We just keep on that flow. It might not hit right now. It might not kick off results, but it doesn't mean we need to stop. We need to quit. We need to abandon ship. But we are feeling clearance, like we've seen signs of success, or something has come in, our ships are coming in, or we hear the call, we see the call here. We have all four eights. That is some kind of manipulation energy. Hold on a second. We have all four eights here, so let's read that down. So this is a battle of wills, and these are all high level practitioners if there is anybody else around. But for us, if it's just us, you know, this is about the soul. With four eights, it's about the soul. We've had to get to the depths of our soul with the hermit and these four eights. So there's an oversoul here. So we're playing something down. We're we're playing something out down here in the physical that's already taken place in the heavens, that's already gone on in another timeline, that's already happened in a story that's probably part of the epics, probably written in the Bible somewhere in a sacred text, a spiritual text. And really, this is about us moving into our spot. We're gonna get what we want. We just have to keep at it. That's a message that keeps coming through. But for some reason, right now, we're having to go through karma because there's this desire for an external energy. It probably is a person, but let me just talk about the archetype. There's the desire for an energy, whether it's a person or an energy, an entity, to come in and speak to us sweetly. They probably were hot, cold, yes, no, up, down, in, out for a long time. Multiple cycles of start, stop, hot, cold, hot, cold. And there's another, I don't get this energy of them rushing back in, but I did see it. It's a returner. They're going to come in and try to speak to us sweetly because this thing that we're building, it's not going to be blocked. Now, I feel like they want access to this energy, or they've been playing around in this energy, using this energy, and they're going to be cast out because our vibration keeps getting stronger. If any magic started to work, or if there were any blockages or obstacles that were successful in the past, that's not a continual thing. They're gonna have to fight tooth and nail every day for the rest of their life, whether it's a person or whether it's the devil or whether it's the enemy. They're gonna have to fight tooth and nail every single day for the very rest of their life. They're gonna die trying to have whatever blockage carry on, continue on, and it's need one happen, need one work. That's an unfortunate situation. Yeah, so the thing about it is that we're just going to be loving, caring, and kind. We're gentle. Sometimes energy expects you to fight, expects you to, this is the lamb. Sometimes energy expects you to fight, expects you. See, what we're dealing with is some kind of sarcastic energy around something that we're building that isn't clear. It hasn't been released to the world. It doesn't appear as it really is in reality, and that's both a good and bad thing. So there is an energy here that knows we're working on something, that knows we have some kind of drive, passion, desire, motivation. This is the type of energy that, when we're happy, it's an offense to them. When when we're succeeding, they're insulted by that. This is the kind of energy we're going up against. And the hyena is a very antagonistic energy. At its very least, it's sarcasm, but to me, sarcasm is it's a tool of the unhealed and unawakened. Um, a lot of times, sarcasm is used to justify overt abuse, unfortunately. When I see the hyena, it tells me that we are the opposite of authentic, genuine, and sincere. Let me just keep going because I'm detecting this energy and I feel like I'm at a loss for words, but I got plenty to say. What I'm picking up is this energy could have came back and apologized at any time. This energy could have said, "Hey, I see you got something going on. I want to get involved. I want to support. I want to benefit. How can I be part of what you got going on? How can I lend my energy to this? I want to come to rehearsal. I want to join the squad." Instead of being like that, instead of saying like, "Hey, I have affection, adoration towards you," they they ruminate, oscillate, vacillate, marinate. And sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's just like family, friends. They see us doing things that are bigger, brighter, and better than them. It's not always that we have an enemy. We do. The devil, 4/8, we do. See, it's an energy that wants us to fail. That's that hyena. It wants to poo-poo all over. See, the golden egg is when you're working on something and you don't show it to the world yet because it comes. There's another egg, the black egg. It's essentially the Fabergé egg. The golden egg is what we don't share. It's we keep working on it in secret. When it's time to share with the world, it becomes a different egg. There's two eggs in that deck. So they want us to um, miss our spot, number one, miss our exit on the freeway, number two, they want us to lose, to fail. And it's not always that intention because sometimes friends and family, they see us looking bigger, brighter, and better. They see us getting out of the bucket and they pull us back down like a crab. They see that we're no longer at the bottom of the barrel and it makes them feel bad in some kind of way, shape, or form. Our ambitions, our desires, our excitement about the future, about life, our drives, our ambitions, our passions, it frightens them because it's not something that is easily discernible, that's easily understandable. They might not have those types of characteristics and qualities to pull from. And so they feel displaced. They feel like they're not able to help, they're not able to give advice, they're not able to discern what's going to happen, what's going on. And it's really a fear mechanism. So fear, when you're fearful, you always try to control, especially if there's another person around. But that's a lack of autonomy, meaning if you're feeling some kind of way, you don't make the other person behave or do a certain thing so that you feel better. Meaning that, what does that mean? That means you do not regulate the other person so that you feel better about yourself. Yeah, sometimes you co-regulate. Maybe you're in a marriage, maybe you're in a partnership, maybe you have an agreement. But if somebody else needs to act or do or be a certain way so that you feel better, that means that you're in an insecure attachment. Whether it's anxious, whether it's avoidant, it's insecure. And in order to service that attachment, you need somebody else to change instead of figuring out what you either need or can do in order to feel secure. Again, that's when you have that enmeshment. And enmeshment is not always obvious, it's not always overt, it's not even always covert, it's not always even intentional. A lot of times, friends and family will poo all over what you got going on, will piss all over your dreams because they're fearful, they're frightened. It could be as simple as don't invest in the stock market because I had an uncle that invested all his money in the stock market and failed. Okay, well, I'm not your uncle. I'm not doing what your uncle did. Something about me is slightly different. Put it this way, why would you take advice about your dreams? Or why would you take advice about a journey that you're going to make from somebody that's never even left the house? You don't take medical advice from your mechanic. It's not meaning that they don't have something valuable to offer, but you go and you replicate success. You go to people that have done the things that you want to do and had success. Many people can try or fail, but some people try and win. Why aren't you asking the winners? The funny thing is, if you surround yourself with winners, you will eventually become a winner. And fear, I'm sorry to say, but it's on the side of losing. Rejection is really ultimately spiritually the way that the spiritual realm sees it is you're rejecting yourself. Fear makes you take an inventory of what's valuable, makes you recheck your bases, and makes you shore up your losses. What are losses? Opportunities for loss are what we call risk. Opportunities for risk are what we call peril. And just so you know, what reduces peril is called insurance. Does that make sense? So insurance is what you have when you can't insure all the risks. So there's a don't worry about what I'm saying. What you should hear from what I'm saying is there's a formula to this. There's even a science to this. And those people who are talking about fears, talking about small-minded things, talking about other people, talking about what could happen versus what might happen. If a person looks out into the future and all they see is obstacles, that's not the person to hang around. And it's unfortunate to say. Not everybody's chosen. Not everybody's on that path. Some people, their job is to be an example of what not to do. And I don't want to be the one who says that, but I'm going to deal with the energy you give me. If I'm walking out into a bigger, brighter, and better future, looking up over the horizon towards the stars into the future, and you're trying to hold me back or turn me around and compassion bait me and concern troll me and respectability politic me and individuality shame me, what am I supposed to do besides leave you behind? Either we're growing together or we're growing apart. That's just at the end of the day, or said differently, at the beginning of the night, that's what it's going to be. And we can dress it up in whatever little costume, but at the end of the day, that's what it's going to be. You're either helping me or you're hindering me. Choose one. You can either have results or you can have excuses. You cannot have both at the same time. You will miss 100% of the shots you don't take. When you take risk in life, you take reward in life. And that's what a loser is. A loser is somebody that has decided to stop trying. It doesn't mean that they try and try and try and fail and fail and fail, because guess what? Eventually, one of those times that you try is not going to fail. That's the only thing that separates a winner from a loser, is the loser has stopped trying. It's lame when you quit on yourself and you stop trying in life. That's the energy that I'm getting here, because it is a group of people and there is some kind of bully here. Like, we are at the bully doesn't always mean we're dealing with a person. It can mean that there's gossip. It can mean that we're unwilling because of conditioning and programming. So a bully is another word for fear mongering, and we don't need to be dealing with another person. We can be dealing with the lessons that we learn from Mother, Daddy, Teacher, Preacher. We could be dealing with the history books, the science books, the religious books, that differently the dogma, so differently the conditioning and the programming, how we were socialized, reared, and brought up, the expectations that we receive through osmosis, um, because we do have this dream and hope and wish for the future, but the environment surrounding location that we're in sees it as a delusion, meaning they don't understand how that can be reality for us. And so as we venture out into the future, what we go out into is conflict. There's difference, there's disputation, there's quarreling. That's what we have to overcome in order to get out there and succeed. That's what we need to surmount. And so we know better. But again, we will have to go through external energies. Something is an enemy, it says. Enemy, distrust. With that 9 of Wands, that's the evil eye. These people are not qualified to have an opinion. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. What does that mean, really? We're not talking about our physical eyes. When you open your eyes, you look. When you close your eyes, you see. So in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. They're talking about the third eye, meaning guided by faith, not by sight. That's, again, what this hermit is. There were no answers around. We weren't able to look to any good example, so we had to turn within or go to God in order to get that thing that we needed, which was hope, which was faith, which was belief. Now we're ready, chariot card, we're ready to move on, move forward into the future. And again, we had to go within for answers. We weren't going to get it out from outside. We had to start from scratch, origin, and we had to go within for answers. We had to pray, take a vow. We had to go to the Lord. And the compromise was that we were going to get what we wanted, but we're going to lose some people. It's unfortunate. So I do want to just mention really quickly, yes, we are dealing with some people, but not everybody's dealing with some people. It could be an energy, an entity, or an ideology. So it can be something as simple as the conditioning, the programming. It can be dogma. It could be other people. But again, people's fear is so strong that it creates an energy. See that ritual? Mystery. It doesn't always mean ceremony. It could be magic through mystery, through a compounding, a cacophony, a cascading energy, or it could be intentional, like a ceremony. Because these people are worried or confused. That's what hesitation says, the words at the bottom. It says decision, confusion, worry. So these people are confused. When all we're doing is figuring out what's going to work for us. Magician, number one. When figuring out how we're going to strike our will upon the universe. We have talent here, and it is going to hit, like I said. One thing that we try on the many pans in the fire, the many things we got going on, the many plates we're spinning in the air, one of them is going to hit. One of them is going to hit. So don't worry about those bichiclismos, those flunkies, those flying monkeys, the ones perpetuating fear and doubt and worry, and they're policing the timeline. And that ain't the timeline to be in. Unfortunately, we've got to go dark. We've got to go ghost. That's just unfortunate because these people, they're going to bind us. They're going to do this is people that they read about God on Google. These are people that read God on Google. And that's just going to get us dead in the head. You got to let them be. Okay. We've got to persevere. Move on, move forward. We got to leave those people behind. It's unfortunate. It's never pleasant, and there's nothing wrong with these people. Most of them, a large majority of them, they really love us, and they really do. They want to see the best for us. But I'll do what you do if I want what you have. If you don't have the life that I want, I'm not gonna follow you. That's just that's just the at the end of the day, that's how it's gonna be. If I want what you have, if your life itself is an example worth following and a story worth telling, I might be inclined to take your advice. If not, please, baby doll. I love you too, boo. Excuse me, bye. You move how you move. I'm just gonna move out your way, and there's nothing wrong with that, baby. Nothing wrong with that at all. So let's pull on these 4/8. Oh, we did already. We have a pair of nines as well. Okay, the hermit came back. Back, forth and forth. Yeah, a bunch of nines are coming out now. Yeah, so the fact that things are getting better for us, things are speeding up for us, things are coming in for us, it's agitating the environment that we're in. We're being expelled from the environment that we are in, and it's necessary. So we used to be a caterpillar, and now we're becoming a butterfly. So there's this story out there where there was once this caterpillar, and he was hanging around with all his friends, and then suddenly he's in a chrysalis, the cocoon, and he's scared. He doesn't know what's going on, and it's all disorienting and it's terrifying. And then one day he emerges from this cocoon and he's a butterfly. And he goes back to hang out with his old friends. And his friends are like, "What's wrong with you, What's wrong with you, caterpillar? Why can't you be like us? Why do you have to be up there in the sky? Why do you have to fly around like that? Why can't you just be like us, sludging around on the ground?" And believe it or not, he wanted to. He wanted to be back with his friends, but the thing he didn't realize is he was a caterpillar. He had wings. They were no longer qualified to give him advice because they were still caterpillars and he was now a butterfly. So that's just one of those things that we can't always go back, and we can't take everybody with us where we're going. They have to catch up on their own. They have to bust out of their cocoon on their own. And that's what the message is here. So yeah, we might be walking alone a little while. Hermit, because things are getting spicy and dicey from where we are. We're being repelled from our environment. We've grown out of the space that we're in, and things are not going to be the same. And in order to make change, things have got to be a little bit uncomfortable. We have a pair of fours here and a pair of pages. So yeah, we're going to be a little bit alone, or we're going to be left to our own devices, or we need to go towards where we have certainty and security. No, it's forced isolation because not every action taken around us or against us or for us is going to be positive. We need to have discernment, clarity, truth, cunning, strategy, or things are going to actually be rather unpleasant. Tell me about this pair of pages. Yeah, we've got to have a spiritual practice. We've got to find some kind of regimented, regulated, traditional practice in it. It needs to be something that we can read about or learn about or study. It might not come from a person, some advice, because it's saying in the environment surrounding location of community or family, it's gonna they're gonna try to control. If we're taking advice from community or family, they're gonna tell us what they would do, but what they would do might not be the thing that we would do if we were making an informed decision. Yeah, so this is the environment surrounding location. We're building some type of platform or finding some type of spot, or we're about to make it for ourselves. And we actually have received it, have achieved the spiritual perfection. We're going to change the group that we're in. Unfortunately, death card with the lovers card, it means a change in union, some type of transition, transformation. It can be the end. But it also can mean family. It could also mean community. It could also mean the ascended masters, the guides. It could mean with the death card and the lovers card, that can also be the ancestors, because we're chosen and we're innocent, and we're trying to communicate, we're trying to collaborate, we're trying to co-create, we're trying to cooperate. It's not really, the cooperation is going to be responding to things as they come through. It's family, it's community, it's places where we were brought up, where we grew up, where we came of age, where we came of consciousness, when places we're growing out of the places where we were formerly naive. We're going to have to leave some of those things behind. Again, we have another pair of fours here and another pair of pages. So unfortunately, if we don't make changes, we're going to be suppressed, repressed, oppressed, depressed. There's some unhealed, unawakened energy here. There are also some illusion, delusion, confusion. There's some projection as well. To a lesser degree, there's a little bit of gaslighting, mirage, falsities. There's fear here. There's a lot of emotions of fear, fear mongering, concern trolling. What does that mean? Aren't you worried? Da, da, da. Don't you think that, da, da? Well, what about? You should be concerned. You should be afraid. You need to be careful. Okay, well, we got to deal with one pain. We got to deal with the pain of staying the same or the pain of changing. When the pain of changing becomes less than the pain it is to stay the same, what do you think we're going to do? We're going to start to make changes. You usually only make a change when you're uncomfortable enough to make that change, especially sustained change. Honestly, I'm gonna just say it. There's an energy here that wants to keep us exactly where we are. They've already secured their spot because they have control. And that's one thing, it's both sides of the coin, good, bad, and ugly. Okay, it can be benign, malignant, it could be benevolent, malevolent, it could be overt, covert, it could be micro, macro, it could be aggressive, passive aggressive, it could be intentional, unintentional. It's both sides of the coin. When we make changes, we're killing the person that we used to be, and sometimes people were benefiting off that old person. So it's not always a bad thing when the old places that we used to inhabit, the old people that we used to surround ourselves with are complaining that we're making changes. Because the person who we used to be was more accessible, was more approachable, was more agreeable with them. And believe it or not, once we have a new belief system, once we begin to make changes, it does anchor into our DNA. It does become molecular, biological. That's why suddenly you can adopt allergies, is because your body is different. Once you get a new belief, once you have a new attitude, certain times you start repelling certain energies. It's not always a conscious thing. It's creating a lot of conflict because what's happening is we know how to navigate the environment and everybody else is feeling guilty. They're feeling ashamed. They're having remorse, regret, guilt, shame. And again, that's not our fault. That's not our problem. So yeah, there is going to be conflict, repelling, protesting, contesting, conflict, conundrums, karma, cascading, compounding, cacophonies of crossing, challenges. And it's a battle of egos, and it's a little bit of jealousy, and it's a little bit of pettiness as well. Because now people are going to have to carry their own weight. There's going to be suffering here. And honestly, it's going to feel like hell on earth. There's a lot of backfirings here. Some people are doing this wrong and they don't even know it. It's not, I don't want to speak evil or bad. These people need to be forgiven, even if what they're doing is intentional. They chose that path because they thought it would bring them happiness for whatever reason. And they would do better if they knew better. And if they chosen to do evil, sinister, and wicked, trust me, they don't know any better. Even if they know that they're harming, they're hurting, they don't know any better. They don't know what that's going to cost their eternal soul. They don't know the type of karma they're going to have to carry for an eternity. When somebody chooses that path, they always choose it for happiness. That's just what it is. And I'm going to say this, it's controversial, but they're lacking spiritual strength and stamina. It's harder to do the right thing. It's harder to take the harder right versus the easier wrong. It's harder to not cut corners, to not take shortcuts. It's harder to build it up of your own energy, to rest on your own laurels. It's harder to be loving, to be compassionate, to have an open heart, a warm heart, a generous spirit. That takes so much more effort than to be catty, to be miserly, to be bitter, to gossip, to hate. Those are easier. Not always easy, but they're easier than the other path. So we're going to be dealing with low vibrational people, or that's actually what we're growing out of. And the thing is, if we don't change course, there's nothing they can do because they can't reach us anymore. They're around us, they have access to us, but it's not working. Whatever they're doing, whatever they're saying, it's not working. Yeah, we're leaving hell, we're escaping hell. And it's a strict sentence, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. Let me do this double page. Yeah, so we found fortitude, emotional strength, emotional fortitude, strength, courage, and wisdom. We've perfected the self because we're pure and clean and graceful inside. We have a pure heart, a pure soul, a clean spirit. And there's some other energy of shifting. They're going to try to be hard and aggressive and combative and militaristic and strategic and tactical. They're also going to try being sweet and caring and kind. All they want is for us to comply, and it's never going to happen. So I'm sorry, like, secure people are attracted to secure people. These are insecure people. But here's the thing, we're going to get new groups of people, new chosen family. If we continue the course, we will end up with a whole new set of everything, new friends, new people, new places, new things, new environments, new surroundings, new locations. It's fine. All we have to do is sit in our own energy because we're very blessed. So this has been a message of pursuing our passions, our dreams, our desires, our hopes, our wishes. Really, ultimately, genuinely, our heart's desires, our soul's ambitions. And as we embark upon this journey to build, to create for ourselves, to go on to a bigger, broader, and better future, we're coming across some type of repellent. And honestly, it's that people are being repelled, places are being repelled, things are being repelled. We're getting new environment surrounding locations because the old environment surrounding locations do not serve us. It was dogmatic. It was colonizer and controller energy. The mother, the daddy, the teacher, the preacher, the history books, the science books, the religious books. It was orchestrated, controlled. It was conditioning and programming. We were socialized to stay low, to stay stuck, to stay stupid, and we've grown up and grown out of that. We've matured in some kind of way. And not only did we detach, but we're finally withdrawing. And a lot of toxicity and negativity is going to come out. A lot of darkness, a lot of fear, a lot of aggression, both covert and overt, both intentional and unintentional, both macro and micro, both direct and indirect. It's all going to come out. So just remember, it's not our fault, it's not our problem. Because if we stay the course, we will get new everything. And we need to let people catch up on their own. We can't carry them with us. That's the message. It's been an honor and pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege and the pleasure to do so. Remember, as always, just a quick prayer to all those still lost out there that are unhealed, unawakened, lost out there to the matrix, an illusion, delusion, confusion, yet to heal, yet to awaken. May your steps be ordered. May your path be illuminated. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be at peace. May you be whole. May you get everything you ever wanted, starting with what you deserve. I pray that you return to the splendid grace of the divine, of universal love and unconditional love and universal oneness, whole, happy, healthy. Take good care until we read again, until we meet again. Namaste, Dandavat, and Ashe Sayonara Avida Zen. Das vidanya. Ciao.